What is up, my friends? It's Csaint here with another deep dive into the Paraverse. This week we'll take a taste, a look, a look at Synesthesia Network. Let's get right to it. The name of the network stems from the phenomenon that toys with our perceptions. People who experience this in real life would tell you that stimulation of one sensory pathway, such as sight, would lead to involuntary experiences in another pathway, such as smell. It's a perfect name for Synesthesia Network. This idea was hatched from the mind of Parody's own Sean that places full focus on user experience over everything else. It's an interesting dichotomy to Parody's main aim of catering to developers and blockchains, which Sean expanded on in a recent Space Monkeys interview with Jay.
If he had an extra lifetime to spare, what would he spend that time building?
This is where I actually do know what I would want to do. And if you're interested, you can go to a website called synesthesia.network. And at some point in my fevered state, I wrote down a bunch of ideas. The basic thing was, I think at Polkadot, we're constantly making compromises between UX and what's optimal for the blockchain. Polkadot being such a low layer 0-1 thing, often we side with what's most efficient for the blockchain, not necessarily what's most efficient for the UX. I think I would love to experiment. What would something like Polkadot look like, or a blockchain look like, if we just optimize UX from the beginning? I would want to see if resource and bandwidth and blockchain didn't have this limit, how far could we push user experience so that it really is something that people feel natural to use?
With Gavin's recent move to chief architect, it looks like user experience will continue to rise, with improved social primitives as well. Although only currently existing in Second Life, Synesthesia hits on this social aspect of blockchain communities by focusing on UX and rethinking account generation, trust relationships, and Discord. Today, from the user perspective, account generation is centered on hot wallets, which can be both your asset storage and what you use daily. However, many use independent cold storage accounts like a ledger and have a hot wallet that accesses it, such as Talisman. This setup is much safer since cold wallets are typically offline and stored in a physical device, making them resistant to online attacks. Synesthesia aims to have the cold wallet online, but accessed by a hot wallet proxy account automatically. This eliminates the need for private keys to the cold wallet, allows for easy hot wallet access, and even account recovery if your hot wallet is compromised. This sounds familiar to what the team over at LogIon is working on, but with the trusted legal officers in the place of Synesthesia. Check the link to LogIon's deep dive below. The trust relationships within Synesthesia set it apart from other blockchain ecosystems with its built-in reputation system and unique account creation flow. So what if accounts were created by invitation only? This could trigger a network of trust built from the community out and even lead to establishment of hierarchies. The reputation of those invited would reflect directly on your reputation and affect your ability to move through this hierarchy, making people think twice about who they invite. Now imagine expanding on this idea and experimenting with different models of leveling up and down to gain rep, and even financial rewards in the form of dividends based on your status in this hierarchy. This reminds me a bit of Kusama, which comprises 50 original NFTs tied directly to an individual owner's Twitter account. Progenitor NFTs are spawned from these OGs, which can then be sent out to other community members, thus expanding the network organically. It's something Kusama and Pinan dove into recently. Synesthesia also theorizes on connecting people to the chain through Discord, which is already heavily used by crypto users far and wide. With some similarities to the DAO CDK courtesy of Invarch and Fala, the idea is to meet users where they are with decentralized tools, but focus primarily on UX. Much like its namesake, Synesthesia is but an idea triggered by another, as it hasn't been worked on in a few years. But it's serendipitous to see some ideas from one of Parody's brightest be reflected in some of the community's very own initiatives. I mean, you know what they say about great minds. Do you think Synesthesia will ever get built? By Sean? By you? Will the community connect the dots? Maybe it'll just stay in Second Life. Have a great night, everybody.